Q, and we're here. Second segments. Danny Anthrop, Stacy Clarity. You can see the names under there. I don't need to keep pointing over there. Welcome to the show, Danny. You don't know what you've walked yourself into. No, we're glad that you're here, and especially the fact that you guys are up early this morning, and the fact that now you're a little bit on break, but excited to be playing another football game this year.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. And today was an early morning for sure. It was a little painful getting up, but it was a good practice, a lot of competition, and I think it was the right way to go out before break. Everybody's happy to get home, see their family. I think almost everybody's going home for the holidays, so it's a good opportunity for us to get away.
Are there some guys that live further away that go to other teammates' houses, or are you literally everybody going home even to Florida?
Most of the guys are going home to Florida. I think there's a handful of guys staying here. And I invited a lot of those guys over if they wanted for any of the days, since I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I think it's good for everybody to go home, though, for sure, especially during the holiday season.
Yeah.
Did I hear you were playing Christmas music in practice today?
Absolutely. We were playing all the classics. I think that was Coach Higgins' idea, for sure.
Yeah. What's it been like? You know, obviously the transition is, from a player standpoint, is got its challenges. I mean, that was a new experience to have a coaching transition, but now you have a very different start, maybe a little bit different approach with Coach Higgins. But what's it been like from a player perspective in terms of bowl preparation and answering to a new guy?
We really haven't missed a beat since Coach Higgins was really a big part of the offensive coordinating. And in 3 weeks, he went from wide receivers coach to offensive coordinator and to head coach. And it's been a whirlwind for him, I'm sure. He's handled it really well. Nobody's had any complaints about it. Everybody said he was a good pick. And Coach Higgins will be the first one to tell you that he didn't want this to happen.
Yeah.
But he's going to do his best job that he can.
Yeah, and it seems like as Stacy has talked about, the response has been positive. It's been interesting for him, I think, from his standpoint too. Coach Higgins, Patrick Higgins, talking about the desire this is a great opportunity for him, and that's been certainly a sidelight of this as well.
Yeah, he's talking about, it's an odd, like Danny said, it's just odd for him. I mean, to be in this position and you want to coach, you want the guys to do well, you want to win, but then you're kind of trying to find a job and market yourself too, and the entire staff's trying to do that, so it's kind of an odd balance. But yeah, I think he's handled it really well, and he's done some different things, right? How is the team bonding going? Are you guys buying in?
I think we are.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to some of the stuff that we did at my high school in bonding aspect. We're starting to get to know the players a little bit more, kind of their beliefs as a person, not just a football player. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the most fun parts about it is we get to know the coaches better, because they get to talk to us and talk about like their lives a little bit.
We have a whole host of questions for you that are some very insightful ones. One from Eric. Danny, where do you rank on the team as far as being the fastest player?
I think I'm up there. I think there's probably about 5 or 6 guys that are really up there, especially during the summer we ran 40s. A lot of people were in between 4.3 and 4.4. So I think it was like Rob Henry, Raheem Mostert, Akeem Hunt, BJ. He was the fastest this summer. Unfortunately, he's been hurt a lot of the season, so we really haven't been able to see him. I think I'm up there, especially considering when I ran my 40, it was right after the All-Star game. I had a little bit of a bum ankle, but I think that I'm up there, and I'm just glad that speed translated from high school to college.
Well, I mean, I know, but you were a baseball guy before you were a track guy, and obviously had the chance to, in your last couple springs in high school, to set the world on fire in track. I mean, did that surprise you? I mean, you obviously always had that speed, but the ability to perform at that high a level in state competition.
Yeah, it was kind of a unique experience, because I started out playing baseball my first 2 years, and then I tore up my wrist a little bit my junior year of football, and the doctor said it wouldn't be a real good idea to play baseball. So I decided just to do track. And at Central Catholic, we don't have a track, so we just kind of ran on the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was kind of remarkable to do some of the things I did without really being able to practice very much.
Yeah.
You had mentioned injury. How are you now?
Right now, I'm doing really well. I had a little bit of an ankle problem at the very beginning of bowl prep, but right now I'm healing, and I plan to be back for the bowl game and just to do this as best as I can.
Yeah, and we did a little research this year on the fact that you were one of a very few Purdue players to have scored what was it, a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown, I think, in your as a true freshman, but you're used to getting in the end zone, 107 times or whatever it was in high school. You seem to have a nose for that, but what was that like? Making an impact as a freshman, and you come in and you really don't know how things are going to pan out, whether you're going to see the field when you start practice. You did. You contributed all the way through. What was that like for you?
It was a crazy time during camp because I came in really expecting to redshirt and not to do much, just scout team and prepare for the next year. But towards the end of camp, a couple of my friends have been texting me saying on Golden Black, Coach Hope said he wasn't going to redshirt me, and so my family and my friends knew before I
Lord.
did.
Nice.
But it was awesome. I'm really glad I didn't redshirt, and I'm glad I took advantage of some of the opportunities I was given. And it was kind of bizarre at Minnesota because I was only in for about 3 plays on offense, and I only had 1 reception on the year, and that's a 25-yard touchdown. So I think that's it was a good opportunity for me.
Yeah, and yet you know where the end zone is. That's a good thing.
Where is your plaque? You got special teams MVP. I'm assuming you got some kind of plaque, right?
I did. Right now it's in my dorm room.
Displayed prominently, I'm sure. Just say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because, I'm sorry, just in terms of the development, you're talking about, obviously it's nice to be able to get in the end zone, but your role really this year was to be that kind of try-hard, special teams, blue-collar kind of guy, and that was something you kind of grew into to like, right?
Absolutely. Coach Gibney, really, he gave me my opportunity at the end of camp. At first, when I came in, I looked on the depth chart. First day I was there, and I wasn't a starter. I wasn't second string. I wasn't third string, and I was on the gold team. And that's the scout team for special teams. It's a little bit of a rough lifestyle.
Yeah.
And Coach, he said that a lot of people can work off the gold team, ended up becoming starters, and I was like, just thinking to myself, yeah, right. And then by the time the first game came around, I was a backup on kickoff, and then each week he gave me a little bit more. And by I think the Wisconsin game, I was on all 4 and starting.
What do we have a question about from somebody about your family dynamics growing up? You have 3 brothers. You said 2 older, and obviously Drew Antip and on the Purdue men's basketball team, and brother Jade and younger brother Jackson. What was that like growing up? I mean, did that help your development, trying to always be able to compete against your brothers, or were they old enough that you didn't run around with them a lot when you were playing basketball or football or whatever sport of the day in the yard?
We're a competitive family. We used to play like J's versus D's, so it'd be Jaden Jackson versus me and Drew. So we were on a team a lot, and we always won,
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun growing up, especially going to Purdue football games, Purdue basketball games. I even went to a few Purdue baseball games when I was little. It was crazy seeing the recruiting process for my older brothers because I didn't really think, because I thought they were a lot better than me, and I was just kind of nervous for what was going to happen to me because Jade went to St. Joseph and Drew ended up taking the walk-on spot for Purdue, and they always encouraged me. I didn't really have the athletic reputation going into high school as they did. I was a little bit more of the troubled child. I was a little bit more ornery than them, so that's how people knew me. But I developed a little later than my brothers as well. I think that helped me because I got used to being smaller and maybe not as strong as most of the older guys. And I really credit Coach O'Shea and all the football coaches at Central Catholic for developing me into the player that I ended up being.
What was it like? Because how many games did you lose in high school?
I lost 2.
And then you lose 6 this year, and I mean, it wasn't like it was a
way to rub it in. Yeah.
But it was a change for you. I mean, you're used to winning. You're you're in a program here where you're trying to get to that point. Was that any transition for you from that standpoint?
It was definitely a transition because I didn't experience that a lot in high school, and when I did, it was kind of devastating.
Yeah.
So then this year, like maybe we'd lose, and then I feel like we'd go about our business the next week, and I was just like still depressed and I don't know, just a little bit confused. I felt like it was kind of like for a lot of guys, it didn't impact them as much as it impacted me. But I'm ready to get back on the winning track, especially for the bowl game.
Well, you're on a three-game streak, as you said, and then or as the story goes, and that's a good place to be. Stacy?
So break down Oklahoma State for us a little bit. What have you seen of the defense?
Defensively, they like to run a lot of quarters coverage. I know on special teams that they have a good returner. He's number 4. We're gonna try to take him out of the equation a lot. Mm-hmm. And then on punt return, they have a real big guy. He's kind of like Jared Abbrederis. He makes a lot of good decisions. He's not really a burner like some of the guys we saw this year, but he definitely knows how to make people miss, and he can make a lot of plays.
And their kicker/punter is really good.
Yeah, he's going to be dangerous. So we got to keep him out of his range, especially when we're playing defense, because they can score from about anywhere.
Do you think you'll get opportunities in the return game? Not you necessarily, but Raheem or Akeem or whoever. Do you think you'll get chances to return? I think they had 2 touchdowns returned
against them.
Yeah, kickoffs. I think another one on a punt. But do you think potentially you'll get a chance to kind of do something there?
Absolutely. I think that we'll get. Usually, Coach Givney will have a percentage of touchbacks and returnable balls, and I think he's about 50%. I think that he's going to be able to give us some opportunities, especially for Raheem. I know he's healing a lot. He's going to be good to go, especially Akeem Hunt. They're both super fast guys. They hit the hole and they're gone, as we've seen this year. And I just think that they're going to have good opportunities, and they're definitely going to take advantage of them.
You got some of your friends sending questions in here that I won't even. John Beardmore wanting to know what the impact of playing next to him in high school. I'm sure you can answer that. But we'll talk about Coach Hazel, and obviously you've had a very brief opportunity to be to meet him. But what were your impressions? And obviously, Danny Hope was a big part of the reason why you came to Purdue. So that's a challenge to be able to go from one person to the next. But talk about your impression of Darrell Hazel.
Coach Hazel, he made a really good impression on us. He came over before Thanksgiving dinner, and or actually I think it was Christmas dinner because it was after the game. Yeah. And we were at training tables, and he addressed us as a team, and he really grabbed everybody's attention. You could have heard a pin drop in there. He's really got his head on straight, and he has his goals, and he told us those goals, and he really laid everything out for us. And he told us he was going to get the best coaches possible, father figures. He said they're going to show us the way, and they're going to instruct us, but they're also going to make us be disciplined. And I think that was one of his big things that he was telling us. And he said that we should do everything to protect the football team and everything that we do. And I really like that, and I think a lot of the guys are buying into it.
Go ahead, Stacey.
I'm sorry. I thought you were.
No, go ahead. We can do this for another 10 minutes and go back and forth. No, go ahead.
You had said after the banquet that there's a little element for you with a new coach coming in of, I have to prove myself again. Have you is that still your thinking now after a couple of weeks and meeting him and everything? I mean, is it just it's a different situation to be in. You had a pretty good freshman year, and now it's kind of like you're a freshman all over again kind of a thing? Yeah,
everybody's kind of on the same playing field right now. Yeah. Really, my dad told me that you're going to be constantly proving yourself. So I don't think it's any different from if we would have still had Coach Hope. I just think it's a good opportunity for everybody because some people don't have the advantage of knowing the playbook better, and everybody's going to be on the even keel. And I'm really looking forward to that, especially come time for spring ball.
I had a question on here about somebody said, when did you know that you were playing Division I football in terms of being on the field and from a contact standpoint? Was there one hit that you took and you said as you walked off, I'm playing at high Division I football, or as you gathered yourself?
I think the first time was during camp when I started getting hit a little bit there. Yeah. Especially when we had Dwayne Beckford on the team. Yeah. He was kind of a freak. he could lay the wood, and during the games, I would say probably against Wisconsin when I first got to return kicks. Yeah. I think towards the end of the game, I got blasted pretty good by one of their gunners when I was trying to block for Akeem Hunt. And that was probably the first time I was like, all right, it's real.
What do you think about the NFL's rule, or not rule, but there's a lot of talk about you're getting the violent nature because you've got to, whether you're blocking on the return game, but you're going to be running in and gathering a large head of steam before you hit somebody. What do you think about the potential NFL rule, and maybe it'll get to college at some point of eliminating kickoffs? I mean, how do you view that?
I don't like it, especially because that's a big part of how I've been playing.
Yeah.
I think that football has been around for quite a while, and it hasn't been taken away yet, so I don't see any reason to take it away. Maybe set some rules in like they have, which I think has been a good thing for the game. Made it a little bit tougher on kick returners, moving the place where the kick's at. But I think it would be, I wouldn't like the decision if they took out kickoffs.
We've talked kind of on the field how it's gone, but how has it just been being a college student and balancing the academics with all of the stuff you've had to do? How has it gone?
No, I felt pretty prepared for college. Coming in, I wasn't really sure what to expect. It was kind of a whirlwind. One day, my dad takes me for reporting day for camp, and since then I feel like I've been on my own. But I really like how academics are going, and 2 or 3 classes a day is great. I love it. It's a little bit different though, because your day isn't the same every day. So you have a new routine. It's almost like a weekly routine instead of a daily routine. And I'm really glad that I did well this semester, and I'm really looking forward to getting into my major classes and getting my minor on track. And I'm just really excited about where I'm at academically.
Which is, what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in law and society, and also a minor in forensic science.
Awesome. That's good. And that 4.0 in the first semester is perfect for you, right?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's a huge transition to be able to come in, and I think it's one of the things that I always marvel at, because there are guys, I call it the Kentucky basketball effect. You know, they have these freshmen that come in and their first year and set the world on fire, win national championships, all that. But it is a big transition just from the academic side. I mean, have you found it that way, and has it been a case of having to be able to organize your time, or what has been a key for you to have that success in the classroom in your freshman year?
I think the biggest thing is just being accountable, because they give you a syllabus, when things are going to be due. It wasn't really a huge adjustment for me, but maybe for some people it is. I can definitely see where it can cause a lot of problems if you get behind, because you just keep getting stuff each week, and especially balancing football, you don't have a lot of time. But Coach Hope had a good rule that we had study hall every day during the week, and a lot of times you had to be there from 8 to 10, so a lot of times I was in there just doing my work every day.
Yeah.
PM?
Yep.
Yes, I thought it was like right after
And
dinner,
in high school, I mean, different, but you were playing 3 sports and going out, going out all the time with that. And in a high school, it's got a very good academic reputation where a lot of your classmates are going to college. It's college prep. So I mean, you knew kind of what you were getting into from that standpoint.
Absolutely. A lot of things that we did at Central Catholic was that they really emphasized writing, and that really helped me a lot, because writing 3 to 5 page papers is no big deal to me, and I see a lot of people struggling with it, and I'm really thankful that I have that.
Good. One more question for him. We're going to let him go here in a minute. Yeah.
You get a chance to meet a lot of people maybe you wouldn't have, being able to come here, and one of the relationships that you've kind of established with Ryan Russell is interesting to some people for some reason, right? Can you just talk a little bit about how you met him and why you guys hit it off?
Yeah, the first player I knew was Ricardo Allen, and he knew Coach Barrett's family, so I used to see him at games all the time, and I actually went paintballing with Timmy Mills and Ricardo and a lot of the football players, and that's where I met Ryan, and he was a real good guy. He showed me around like my first day when I came for weights over the summer, which was a terrible day. But he's just a real genuine person, and I'm glad that I have him on the team, because he gives me a lot of guidance, especially when it comes to football. I'll ask him about certain players on the team, or coaches, or like the places we're going, and he has a lot of insight on things that are going to be happening.
All right, so now what will we see on New Year's Day from Purdue against Oklahoma State?
I think you're going to see a team that's got a lot of emotion, we've got a lot of drive, and we see that we're the underdog by quite a bit. But a lot of players, it's going to be the last game, especially like Robert Marv. He's got 3 ACLs. Same with Ralph, and I think you're going to see a lot of fire from them. And you're just going to expect a shootout.
All right. Well, we'll hold you to that. But thank you so much for taking the time to come out. You should be out. You got your Christmas shopping done?
Yes, I have most of it done. I still
Better have Mom taken care of. I know that. So that you got that all set?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay.
She's probably watching.
I know, that's all right. But I know his mom, and I know that she has high expectations for her kids. So I hope you get the rest of your shopping done, and I hope I get mine done as well. All right, thanks so much, and good luck to you for the rest of bowl prep and in Dallas. And I know that Purdue fans have enjoyed watching you play in year 1, and we're going to enjoy watching you play in years 2, 3, and 4. All right, we're going to stay put. We're going to send Danny and Matt Rector back out into that cold world, and we'll bring Brian Newbert back in to talk about. I don't know what we're going to talk about the next 20 minutes, but we'll come up with something. Actually, we'll talk a little bit about basketball as well. So stay tuned on Gold and Black Live, and we'll look forward to seeing you back in a couple minutes.